Let us look at Matthew chapter 24. I'm going to take one verse from there, verse 44. Matthew's 24 chapter and verse 44. During this whole entire chapter, Jesus is talking to his disciples, getting them ready for his return. Before the second coming. I think it's important that at least 1/3 of the Bible is about him returning in eternity. So I think we need to talk about it. Since that's where you're going to be sooner or later. Jada, there ain't but two places that we can go. And tell somebody you're going to one of them. Tell that other person, the good news is you choose which one to go to. Ain't that good news? Your choice. Matthew's chapter 24, verse 44, according to tells us to be and stay ready for his return. Because no one knows the day or the hour he's coming. By the time you get at ease and think everything is okie dokie, here he comes. So he says here, don't be getting ready, because you can't get ready. But you can stay ready. Tell two people, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. You may be serious. I'm going to talk about stay ready. I want to take my time and do this quick. A lot of people are not talking about prophecy anymore. A lot of people are not even talking about eternity anymore. We are consumed. Brenda, I need to turn that out about 71 or 72. We are consumed with this world and the things that God has given us in this world. God has given us this world and these things in this world for us to enjoy it. Amen. And not the things of this world enjoy us. And I'm mighty afraid that we have allowed the things that we desire most to be our driving force in this life. we have to talk to the Lord on a constant basis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Almost every sermon I hear now, I'm taking my time to do this quick, is about here. And the Lord does. The Lord does. 3/4 of the Bible is about here. But basically, what God is trying to show us about here is not to get caught up here. Because Phil, we all got to leave here. And every funeral, every death, whether natural or disaster or someone killing you, every one of those reminds us that we got to leave here. In this world, especially in this Western world, the United States, we have become laxed and calm. And we act as if we don't have to leave here. But a lot of us done fell into this thing about, I'm going to take my time and do this quick. When you're dead, you're done. And you got a right to your opinion, and you got a right to your belief. But Terry on, what if you're not done when you're dead? Carla, if you take that philosophy, that you're dead, you're done, you have no other recourse if you find out different. How much rather can it take a gamble on there's life after death? Because that's the only thing that can give this life meaning. And if I find out it's not, then I hadn't lost a thing. But if you take the position that there's nothing after you die, and you find out you have lost everything. Stepping in, I'm going to take my time and do this quick. In Luke chapter 16, it tells us a story of two men that died and went to two different places. One went to paradise, which was heaven, and the other went to hell, which is torment. God created both of them. He created heaven for the people that choose to trust him to get them there. And he created hell for the ones that don't want to have nothing to do with God. I'm preaching about y'all looking at that. Both are his place, and both groups are his children. But God loved us enough that he let us make the choice of which place we want to go. I'm getting ready to close this. Y'all done heard me tell this story many days about the young, I use a man this time, young man was an executive in a great corporation, making a lot of money, but he died while he was young. And When he opened his eyes, he found himself in heaven riding the clouds, listening to the angels sing, talking to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Johnny, God came down and said, "How you doing?" He said, "Oh Lord, I'm doing great. This place is marvelous. This heaven is beautiful." The Lord said, "Well, I got to be fair with you, because while you was on earth, Anthony, you didn't make up your mind. What you wanted to do. You was one of them CME Christians. Christmas, Mother's Day, and Easter. And you couldn't quite, y'all pray with me, make up your mind. So Monica, he said, I got to let you go to hell. You've been 3 days here in heaven. I got to send you to hell for 3 days. And then after 3 days there, you come back and let me know what you want to do. Julie said, "Oh, no, I'm straight. I like it right here." He said, no, I got to be fair. Barry said, "I got to let you go there." Got on the elevator and went down. When he opened that elevator, he saw a 50-star hotel. I know y'all sitting there thinking, but this is my story. I can tell it the way I want to tell it. He played 9 holes of golf, Brother Swift, in the hotel. He went out that night and saw some of his friends listen to Luther and them and singing and amazed, and he listened to B.B. King them singing, listen to their music, and they just had a ball, laughing and talking. 3 days was up, caught the elevator, went back. The Lord said, "Okay now, I'll let you spend 3 days in heaven and 3 days in hell. Now it's time for you to choose." He said, "Lord, heaven is all right. Yet peaceful and joy and beautiful." He said, "But Lord, hell got it going on. And since you let me know I got to make a choice, I think I'll go to hell." Lord said, "You sure?" He said, "Yeah, Lord, I'm sure." Operating off of sight. Caught the elevator and went down. Whoosh! When he opened that door, that heat hit him. It was hot yesterday. Anybody got outside yesterday? Was it hot out there? And that heat you felt yesterday won't even compare to hell. Y'all feeling me here? He got, and that stench. He heard people hollering and wailing, gnashing of teeth. He hollered, "Ho, ho!" Reginald, he said, "I need to talk to somebody. This ain't the hell I asked for. I want to go to the hell that I was showed at first." Satan came up and said, "What's the problem?" He said, "I want the hell I saw at first." Satan said, "Well, that hell you saw at first was my recruiting strategy. When I recruit you, I'm going to always show you something that's really not really there. But now that you've signed the contract, get over to the rest of where the rest of them at." And I don't think to it, I know that's what God is doing with us today and Satan. They are both recruiting us. And one of us are falling for the okie doke. We're seeing a lot of glitter, but it ain't gold. Y'all gonna pray with me here? We see a lot of things that's pretty, but it's a snake bitten. And that's what God is trying to help us. And the only way that you can stop from getting hooked is that you got to know something about the Word of God. In Luke 16, this man in hell, and first he asked us to give some water. Say, give you no water, because we can't stand that. He sent somebody dead back to tell my 5 brothers, don't come here. But the man of God told him, I ain't sending nobody back. I done gave them all I'm going to give them. Oh, here it is. They got the word. Let them read the word like everybody else. He said, no, that church thing ain't working. That word thing ain't working. But if you send somebody about the dead, they'll believe. He said, no. I done gave them all I'm going to give them. Wow. And if they don't hear the word, neither will they hear somebody from the dead. And a lot of people thinking they okay when they're not okay. Because they know nothing about the word. And the word and God are the same. John chapter 1, verse 1 say, in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, the Word was God. The same was with God from the beginning, and the Word made everything. So God and the Word are the same. In that 14th verse, he said, and the Word was made flesh. That's Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the Word wrapped up in flesh. Yeah. And how can you know you're going to heaven and you don't even know what Genesis is? Never hear nobody speak about God. And the reason I need to go here is because our life here, our life here, Sister Black, is dependent on how we respond to the word. It took me too long. I got to close it now. So Jesus telling his disciples, you got to be ready. You got to stay ready. Because if you don't stay ready, that means study my word. Look at my word. If you don't stay ready, this word gonna hook you. And you're gonna get caught up in the word. It's just like the things that we go through. If you get caught up in your pain, you'll never get out of your pain because your pain got you at a standstill. But in order to get out of your pain, you got to see further than the pain. You're not denying the pain, but you know the pain ain't gonna last. Can I help somebody here today? If you can't see no further than where you are, you're already in trouble. Some got folks right now still living in 10 years ago. You were done wrong, you were hurt, you were raped, you were abused, you were put in jail wrongfully, and you still holding on that. Life have passed you by because you still holding on something that you can't do nothing about. Look at your neighbor and tell them, get over it, get over it, get over it. Tell that next person, neighbor, the person you mad at don't even know you're mad. Look at that other neighbor. The person that hurt you, not even losing sleep at night. I got to close him now. So in order to get over this, you got to see further. You're not denying it. I'm where I am, but I don't have to stay where I am. Because you heard me talk about my mother-in-law been cancer free for 50 years. Most people die soon as they get it because they already die in their mind. They say you got to stay ready. How you stay ready? You stay focused on what God. You don't deny life, but life, you don't allow life to dictate you where you are with God. Can I close here now?
Come on, preacher, come on.
You're not denying life. Job did that same thing. You ain't got to like it. You can hate it. It causes pain. But you cannot make it cause you to lose God. Because once you lose God, you done lost your life. He said, you got to stay ready. How you stay ready in the closing? He says in that same chapter, he said, old days going to be just like the days of Noah. I got to close in the house. Ease down, Courtney. How was the days of Noah? God had put Adam out to God because he loved him, because he disobeyed. His two sons, Abel and Cain, had a conflict over God. And Cain killed his brother Abel that represented God. Man began to grow. How we stay ready. I'm talking about how we get ready. And man started doing what he wanted. But God sent another man through Adam called Seth. And Pam, when Seth was born, man began to call on God. So as long as Seth line, which represented the church, and Cain line, which represented the world, stayed separated and did their thing, God didn't move. I gotta close. God let things be. But when in Genesis 6, when it said Seth line, which is the church line, saw Cain line and went over there, preach ball, not to get them out and bring them back, but went over there because they was captivated. Seth line, the women didn't wear makeup. And their hair was natural. They worked hard all day. Natural, that's right. Natural. Cain line, the women had red lips, red cheekbones, weave. Y'all ain't fair. 36, 24, 38. Men 6'2", 6'3", broad chested, muscles everywhere, stand tall. So the church got captivated. Seth line got captivated. Y'all ain't playing with me.
Come on, son, come on.
They got relaxed. The church started going to Tunica just to eat.
Yes, sir.
But now, you have to hit a few of the machines. They know the guys, and you started out right. You started out right, Lisa. You were just throwing away $10 and $20.
Take you down.
But now you're putting your house note in there. Now you're putting your light bill in there. Now you calling the pastor, said, Pastor, can you give me something on my... Y'all got me, y'all got me. And the pastor can't give you nothing because his light's about to be. And the ring, his lights are being cut off because now you ain't putting no money in. Preach, I'm preaching better than y'all looking out there. activated. So they went over there. They went over there. They went over there and got caught up. And they stayed over there. Look at about two people and say, uh-oh. That's what we said we would have messed up, ain't it? They went over there. And God stood up. As long as Cain did what Cain do. And as long as Abel stayed with the Lord, God said still. But as soon as Seth line went over there, God stood up. He said, it ain't gone crazy. Ain't God all right? They care more about the world than they do about me. The world belongs to me, but man is trying to take it, thinking he can keep it. How crazy is that? Ain't God all right? God wants you to enjoy this world, but not at his expense. Ain't God all right? God wants you to enjoy your food, but he wants you to tell him thank you for the food that you have given. Oh, Lord. God wants you, preach boy, to enjoy your money, but he wants you to tell him thank you. Thank you for giving me substance. Ain't God all right? So God looked at it. God said, I got to get rid of it. Ain't God all right? Caroline, God said, I got to get rid of it. Man done gone crazy. I hate the day that I ever made it. He turned his back on me. Ain't God all right? Ain't the Lord all right? But I heard God. So I'm going to give him some grace. I'm going to give him some mercy. He called Noah and said, Noah, I'm finna destroy mankind, but I'm gonna give them a way out. Oh, Lord. Ain't God all right? Look at your neighbor, give him a high five. Say, neighbor, there's always a way out of this. Ain't God all right? He said, tell them I'm gonna send a flood, but I want you to build a boat on dry land. And I want you to tell him, I want you to tell him, I want you to tell him that everybody that get on the boat, I'm going to save them. Ain't God all right? Now the boat ain't going to make sense. Woo! You're going to build a boat on dry land. You're going to tell them it's going to rain, and it never rained before. Ain't God all right? But I want you to build it because I love mankind. He was working on the boat, He was working on the boat. They were laughing at him. You coming to church and barely making it. They're laughing at you. Ain't God all right? You coming to church, sitting there listening to a man that's telling you about a God that you ain't never seen, and they laughing at you. Ain't God all right? You bringing your tithes, you giving your tithe. Ain't God all right? But give yourself a high five and say, keep on, keep it on, hang in there, because God is not a man that he shall lie. I heard him say, before my word failed, heaven and earth will pass away. He built that boat. He said, come on in. Only 8 people went in that boat. God closed the door. The rain started falling. The wind started blowing. Rain from heaven. Rain under heaven. Folk were knocking on the door. Said, let me in. I'm sorry I laughed at you, but I heard Noah say, it's too late. I don't have the key. God got the key. I heard Jesus say, upon this rock I'm gonna build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against the church. Ain't God all right? I heard him say in Romans and say in John chapter 14, let not your heart be troubled. If you believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you I'm going away. I'm closing now. I'm going away, but I ain't gonna stay gone. But tell me where you going? I'm going to prepare a place for you and you, that where I am, you may be also. Stand on your feet. God got a prepared place for prepared people. Is there anybody here prepared to go? Ain't God all right? The reason I know that you're able to go, because that 8 turned into millions, because everybody came from that 8. Ain't God all right? Now leave from where you are. I'm through. Tell them, neighbor. Go to 3 people and tell them, neighbor, stay with the ship. That means stay with the church. Don't let what the church going through cause you to leave it. There's a lot of things in the church that don't belong in there, but you stay with it. Ain't God all right? There's a lot of stuff going on in the church that don't need to be going on, but you stay with it. Ain't God all right? Because you and everybody else got some hang-ups up in here. Ain't God all right? God is not worried about your hang-ups. He got something called sowing and reaping. but hang with the church. Because when he come for the church, he gonna save the church. And if you in the church, he gonna save you because you're in the church and not what you're into. Ain't God all right? So stay with the church. The door is open.